Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Hooked Up Fishing in the garage with Jerry's kayak, installing Livescope, but I got started and forgot to turn the camera on the first modification that I did. Jerry's assisting me on it, so it's going a lot smoother than me doing it by myself because he's mechanically inclined. So let me get up under here and show you what I missed showing you. Some of it, at least. So the Garmin transducer is not to be put inside the hull of the kayak. So what I had to do was modify the cover plate under here with bolt holes to match the transducer, then bolt the transducer to the cover plate, then the cover plate to the kayak. So that's the mod on the transducer installation for the Garmin unit onto a Hobie. And I do these by marking the bolt pattern and then pinning it in place. And it is just about flush with the kayak, but it does expose a little bit, but I mean by about a ½ inch or less, maybe a quarter, that it will touch before it touches the two pontoons on the side. But that was the first modification that I did, and that's how you put your Garmin transducer on a Hobie PA14. So I'll get back with y'all after we get to the next step. We've already got the cable ran, and now we just got to fish wire it all the way inside the hull of the kayak up to the front. And that's it, man. I'll get back with you on the next step of the modification. Also, I did not show installation of the black box, and we had a black box in place also here. And that black box is where it rides in my kayak as well. Same positioning, and I'll run the wires. Like I explained to y'all, Hobie already comes pre-drilled with your garments for all of your electronics. Everything is plug and play in these kayaks. So they're built for the installation of your electronics, like your fish finders and stuff like that. In this case, Livescope. Jerry has a different pole that I have, and I'm going to show you guys that pole. Real nice pole. And if you need the link, I'll put the link to it in my descriptions. This is the pole that Jerry picked up. It's neat because it takes no drilling, no anything. It just basically locks in place, then you can remove it when you want. You got all your same range of motion by loosening the nut here.
Release it or remove.
Yeah.
Release it.
Yeah, this here I did.
Now tilt it toward me. No, that's enough of that. It'll tilt.
Oh, okay. And also it comes up, tilts up and out of the water. Jerry knows the functions of it.
Yeah. No, otherwise you're gonna lose it. Yeah.
But that's your tilting motion, so you can drop it in and out of the water.
The little red thing points to where your
Transducer is at. That other pole that I use, they're just out of stock, and we don't know when they're going to get that pole, you know. So we're ready to go fishing. So this is something that he came across that he already had in his crate, and it's got rubber deals on there. It's not going to harm the kayak at all. Just drop it down in place, and he's ready to go. And like he said, when he wants it out of the water, he loosens this, and then you got your tilt motion on it to pop it out. Slide it in out of the way. So we're going with that one for now, and I'll get back with y'all on the installation of that too. Which of that, all we have to do is just run the wire, the transducer cable up and pin it in place like we do with all the other stuff. So yeah, let's finish with the pulling of the cable, and we'll get back with y'all once we pull the transducer cable up towards the front. Bring it out here in this hole for the monitor, and then we'll have to run the Livescope cable also inside the hull over here on this side where it's already a garment made for it, and then bring that inside to the black box and the power from the black box over here. And then those are the cables that'll come out on the power side. I'll get back with y'all in the next step of the installation. Thing that you guys want to have, and I was showing that to Jerry. The unique thing about this deal here, you use a little tape, but when you're pulling your fittings, this deal slips over. You have a spring-loaded deal here that cinches that down in place over the cable. And then the most important part, everything in here is sensitive on that unit as far as getting any trash or debris in there. When you slip this cover over there and you're pulling inside the hull of a kayak, whether there's water, oil, debris, or whatever, nothing's going to get inside that connection to where it's going to compromise your screen to where you're going to have distortion or some kind of static. So this is a must-have, guys, and if you have interest in it, I'll send a link to you. I got it on Amazon, I'm sure. Get everything on Amazon. And like Jerry was saying, it literally rolls itself back up and ready for the next use. But that's the deal there, guys, to have with that connection on the end for pulling your cable if you want to do your deals right. So it's worked on multiple kayak jobs, and it's just a game changer, you know, when you're pulling those deals. So we just pulled the cable from the back hatch here and ran that through, pulled this cable all the way up to the front, and then once we got it up here to the front, and I told Jerry that we have enough, what I do is I pull, so there's not a whole lot of excess cable up here. I pull from back here and pull the excess cable and have it laid back here in the hull out of the way. So when I'm doing my wiring and everything up there in the front, none of that cable access is up there. All of the access is back here inside the hull. And Jerry took this hatch loose because you just get a little bit more reach room with this hatch out versus it in. And it has a rough edge that Jerry said was cutting him to death right there. So, and I see why. So you could remove that Hobie hatch and it self-seals itself in place and becomes watertight because it's got a watertight gasket on this side. All he's going to have to do is just clean it real good so there's no oil, no dirt and grit. We're going to clean that real good before we cinch it back down. Don't need any silicone, anything like that. It seals on both sides. So that's one step that I'm going to show you guys before we go any further and start running the wires for the monitor, which these wires, I hate taking this screen out. I'm not sitting it down flat, but I got it on the table. I also work off work tables. You know, it just makes everything convenient for you instead of having all your stuff on the ground. So the next step is our power. And like I was telling him, I just run the power cables through here because it's just going to go up here to the battery. And so I always save all my packaging and all my ties and put them back in the garment box, because if you ever have to ship your unit back, everything's inside the box and you're not missing anything. This being our power cable, and I can cheat because I can look at mine. So it's actually going to be a power cable and a Livescope cable running back in through this hole here. Our power cable is going to run through there, and also our battery, which is our battery power, is going to run through there, and also our transducer cable to the Livescope, the black box. These are none.
I snapped these in temporarily because I wanted to connect it to my active captive.
We can redo it with a heat
shrink. We're going to redo it with better, but that's just so that I could run power to my head here.
So you could go ahead and get lined up on
the
the
up to the internet, and
that step is done.
That step is done. So when I get
these two wires here, guys, are something extra, like NEMA cables. We don't use those. You don't have to block them off or anything like that. And you're able to get to this here, so I don't worry about this one. We're able to get to these parts here from inside the hatch here. It's just it's a short reach to get in here and reach that power cable. And then boom, you got your power cable up here inside the hood. So that's just the next step. The next step will be our transducer cable, which is going to run from the unit to the black box. And I'm going to get the transducer cable, the black box cable at least. And that's going to be inside your, it's not going to be in here with your head unit. It's actually going to be in here with the black box. There's the Livescope transducer, which is going to be coming in on this side. This Livescope pole handle will be on this side. We'll go into that garment there, run this cable through that garment, and then to the black box. Now all of our wiring is in place. The next step I normally take is I put my head unit on so I know how much slack I want out here, because I want less stuff in the way when you're fishing as possible. So we'll go ahead and mount the head unit, and then we'll get back to you guys. But you see what I'm doing. These cables will all be the same length, and I'll make sure that only the amount I need is pulled out to where I'm able to connect to the black box, to the head unit, and not be compromised on excess wire in the way. All right? And here, like I said, Hobie has everything to where it's plug and play. There's a wing nut on the back side. It seals airtight, and we're done. Jared's brought his head unit over. Hopefully the lighting is good here. And you have, now there's an orange deal in that box. It's very important, and there's going to be a red O-ring with it in the head unit box. This is one of the most important steps on this installation, guys, is when you're putting this cable on, there's a clamp type slip over locking nut, and there's a red O-ring that goes with it. It'll be an orange.
Mine's black.
Yours is black.
But there's the O-ring.
There's a red O-ring, okay. They tell you in here how important that is in the manual. You really want to have that, because if you get water in there, that's not going to be good for the home team. That's all I can tell you. You don't need to grease this O-ring. You need to just put it in place. Put the unit, which you'll have a line in here where it'll only go one way. And you'll slide it in place first. Then you take this package here, put this on it. You'll see the threads will be in the front here, and there's a belly in the back. That way you know direction. And you just take it, slip it over in the position that it goes in. You can order more of them, but it actually snaps together. Let me bring the camera over. Probably won't be able to see it, but I'll try to give it a shot. I'll show you about bringing it over. It comes with these two plastic tabs all together. Once you break them, you see the locking deal here in the front. There's a male, there's a female, there's a male on this side, there's a female. You come in before the threads, snap it, turn it around on both sides to make sure that both male and female have went in. And the next thing is, you don't have to gorilla tighten this thing, man, okay? All it is sealing. And once you feel it snug, you just stop there, because all you're going to do is pop it open or have pressure on it where it will pop open out there on the water. Those two tabs are sticking out. You could try to grind them off, break them off. What's the use? It's not really, maybe it'll hang on to your line. I broke them off with my fingernail. So those little tabs that came easily pop off, and now you don't have anything that'll hang on that, like a fishing line or something. But believe me, if it's fishing line, if it's something there, it'll hang into it. Most of this stuff is color coordinated, so you'll see this red goes with the red. Or if you have any doubt, there's 2 prongs there. So if I open this up and there's 4 prongs, I know that doesn't go there, because you look inside the hole here, and I didn't think we used that one. There's 4 prongs inside that hole. So, as a matter of fact, this is the one that's going to the unit. That one there goes in here to the black box. So, hadn't done them in a while, so. And same thing, it's got a slit in there so you can't mess it up. Doesn't have to be Gorilla tight. Run that in. That's the power to the black box. So that third cable that I'm talking about is going to be the transducer cable. I mean, from the Livescope transducer that's going to come out here and going to plug into the head unit, and that's your NEMA connection that's going to give you your Livescope view. So let me stop it here, because we got these 2 in place, which will be this second one will be to the red deal here. Let me get this camera set up. Let's jump over on his own. But there it is. Got a slit right there. The slit is down at the bottom. Can't really mess up on your connections, because they won't go anywhere but where they should go. And put that back up. Oh, they separate. So now what I have to do is run my Livescope cable from here.
This goes to the unit, right? To the black box.
To the black box. And then a NEMA cable over here to the unit. So let me get that NEMA cable. This is your NEMA cable, I call it. And this is the one that's going to go here. The black box is where this is going to go and feed to. So what we do here is, this is like a HDMI type port, you'll see, and you'll have an HDMI type male here. Okay, very important. Go ahead and just put that in place. You see they had it double and bubble wrapped. HDMI cables are sensitive. Livescope is sensitive. So the very first thing you want to do is put this bad boy in place and have that out of the way. Pops right in, snaps, and you just take, not a lot of pressure, seal that off. Okay, then this, I think both ends are the same. My memory serves me correctly. And these are extras. So what I'll do here is, since these both these ends are the same, I'll check to make sure. Go ahead and put them in the bag. This too, the twist ties. Once again, I'm putting all the twist ties back in the bags. So I'll come here. Normally what I do with these cables is stretch them out to where they're straight before I go with the application. Okay, once they're straightened out a little bit where there's no twist and kinks in it, I'm going to go ahead and see if this, with the slit, this one will only have 5 prongs, okay? This will have 9 openings, females, but it only uses those 5. Slides right into place. no tension on it. We'll feed it back in. Like I said, Hobie has everything plug and play. We'll take all the twists and kinks out of it. And like I was telling y'all in the first part of this, I usually stop there. Let me twist this one. Spin it. Spin it this way. See, can you spin it? There it is. That's it. Okay. No, that's too tight. See, I don't want it that tight. You? Yeah, that's too tight. You don't want tension on it. You want to have a little play. So I'm going to have it on this side because mine is on this side. Still in the hook. So for me, this will be outside the hull, not in the hull, because I don't want to have that in the hull and have too much tension on that NEMA cable and you don't have any slack for any movement. Because sometimes you might want to move your head unit around. You might want to lay it down inside the kayak like I do mine. So we leave that like that. And then I'll come in here. And this is my rubber gorman. Okay. Gorman has everything that's plug and play. That's plenty of slack, but not too much in the way. Tighten up on this one just a little bit.
Tell me something, Skizzy.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah, Francis? 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 Pocket car.
yeah. Now, I think I already know the answer to this. But what I wanted to
Okay, we'll get you guys to the next step
what about the
that I did here. And that is, here's your locking nut, and you're going to run this through all your cables here. No zip ties either.
It's Velcro, right?
Okay, yeah, no zip ties. You don't never zip tie them either. No zip ties on your Livescope cables. Do not compromise them by zip tying them or anything like that. The Velcro wrap like Jerry's using, that's fine. Okay, I have 1, 2, there's the third one. Here. So all 3 cables will go through this wing nut here. Okay. Once all 3 cables are through your wing nut, like I said, Hobie comes ready to go. Here, guys, is run all of my power through this locking nut. Hobie provides for you that seals that gorman into place, and you're able to get all of them through there. And the last one that you want to put through there is going to be the one that goes to the black box, because it'll go through after you got all of these through. So that'll be this one. We'll run it through. Pull all of them taut. And inside the hole here, that'll slide up in here and go bolt up over there to that piece that we have sitting right there that is your rubber garment. And that'll seal it because it has silicone around the edges. And then we go from there. It never really sees water because it's kayak is self-draining. So once I have this in place, and I push that wing nut up to it and tighten it up. I'm good to go. I'm ready to let that rod back down over here. Huh?
I said, let's move that hatch, yeah. Where the button at?
Over there, right.
What about your dog?
All right. Something like that. Oh, I see. Anything will stop. All right.
Yeah, it took a minute, but it got cool in here.
Yeah,
Didn't it?
quick. Good and snug and finger tight to fit it. And now we got everything in place. And that rubber garment is in place. I'll reach over here. I'll unscrew this one. Run the Livescope cable through here to this box. Burn the midnight oil, guys. Go ahead, reconnect this cable, which is from the black box to the monitor. And I just basically take it and you'll be able to find the sweet spot. But I'm not going to be able to hold the camera and do that. You probably can't see the way I got that black box in there. So I'm going to put the camera down, make that connection, and get back with you guys. Your network cable to your head unit is hooked up. Your power supply is in the very back. And then the next thing, you know, all this stuff is laying here in the hood. Get this out of here, Jerry. You don't need this. You left it in here. And then, that's, yeah. The next thing will be running our Livescope transducer cable. Like I said, Hobie is just, man, it's live at 5, man. All I do is remove that and run the cable through and we're good to go. Remember, this is the bottom of it. And this is the top and it go like this. When I say Hobie's a foam field, guys, this whole kayak is full of foam. It's not gonna sink. This is the wrong direction to really try to get to this deal from, but for the sake of the camera, I'm gonna try. Back, I'll probably go through here. what I have to do, guys, is remove that rubber garment. And has a locking nut on the back side. It makes that a watertight fit. Normally it's easier to come from the front in the hatch up there, but I have the Livescope box already in place. So, no real big deal. Leave this protected while I'm working. We get those zip ties off of there. Well, zip ties, twist lock. Twist ties. We're on the last leg, y'all. Hold that. Give me that. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna feed this through. Okay. When I feed this through, first thing I'm gonna put on there is the wing nut on the other side. And it was a tight fit last time. So I may have to do a little modification. Having everything you need. Everybody don't have this kind of stuff. That's why it's best when I'm doing these jobs, I do them here at the house. It makes a perfect hole. It doesn't compromise the kayak. You see that? It only takes what you need off. Which normally is enough to get that through. If not, I just run it a little more. Voila. So the next thing is this wing nut, guys. You gotta make sure that you feed that over the cable facing this way, so when you get ready to screw that on, you don't have to sit there and fight with it. So I always bring it out here where I'm at, so I can see what I'm doing. Slip that over, which it's just not going to work. So what I have to do is what I did with mine, with Jerry's. Wait a minute, hand it, unhook it. They make a 3-prong garment that goes like that over, which is mine, and I'll just get that for Jerry. Right now, we'll just alleviate this, let him keep this as a, a backup supply to where, and no water ever gets to that hole, but we're going to make sure we cover it up when we get what we need to just seal that without having to reach inside the hole. That's the good thing. The garment that I have on mine, you just mark the 3 bolt holes, it bolts on the outside, then you seal from here without having to go inside the kayak. So, without any further ado, this cable needs to run straight way into the black box. So, really, I run it loosely all out here because it doesn't matter. It could be on this side and then come back around.
That side is a better
Straighter, yeah, bending, right. So I bring it out wide. I got to feed a lot through. Let me get the camera. No, you got to have all that inside the hole. You don't have the access out here. So I got to. Keep going. Keep going.
I don't want want to pull on the cable.
Huh?
No, I'm saying I'm binding it down there. Yeah, feed me so I don't pull it back.
What we need to do now is put the pole in place. So we're to where we're going to put the pole in place, get the right amount of cable here to reach down, to not have a lot of cable inside of the unit, which is a kayak, I'm calling the unit. Pop this phone back in place once we're done. And your T-handle is here.
It's here.
No, for turn it.
It's just that's why I put the grip on there.
Oh, it's only by hand.
You can put a handle up there, but that's why I put the shrink wrap on there.
So what I'll do is, that whatever kind of stuff that you use. Now, how does this mount on here? What they show?
Well, that's going to be a fabrication. How we want to put it on there. It has a screw, it has screws, but I've seen people use screws, zip ties, whatever.
I'm going to use.
The bracket.
Yeah.
You can bolt the bracket to that and that to the bracket.
Since this is not a plate that's really 100% compatible here, just slight modifications is all we're going to end up doing. So I'm going to go with removing that plate, if I can, padding it up, and making it work. Now, if it'll go around it and lock into place, I'm going to do that. So, I'll bolt this one here, okay, in place with a screw and everything. This side is up. And once I do that, I'm going to remove this one, and we're going to use this one to clamp here. If there's a wrong pole size, give me a washer. See if there's a rubber. Washer and then a flat washer.
All the washers just.
Is a flat washer? Okay, what about, is there any other rubber? That's it, right? So what you have here, you have a rubber washer and a flat washer. You're going to have a flat washer up here on this machine fit. You can tell it goes there because it's machine fit for it. This rubber goes in between it. And I think that's so you're not compromised, putting too much pressure on there trying to tighten it. You'll see that rubber is a machine fit. They make an Allen. They got an Allen right there for you. Comes in the bag. It has arrows on there showing you what side is up. That's the application you're going to use. And we're just going to pad this thing up. And it'll be perfect. Just the way that he has it. To where you'll be able to change directions with it by clicking it. That's why that rubber is there, so it's not overly tight. Now, if this doesn't grab, that's where the modifications are going to come in. Okay, I'm not going to worry about trying to grab here and putting a bunch of stuff, because then this could slip off, fall off, transducers.
Will the screws fit through there? No.
It might be too far to reach, and then you're gonna compromise cracking that.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna bolt it to this, and I'm done. If I have to,
because you have the rubber here if you needed to.
but I don't think that's gonna be enough. We can try it. Is there 2 pieces?
No, it's just one.
It ain't gonna grab.
It's not gonna
You know, my hand floats. Ain't no nut on the inside, shouldn't be. Try the other one. See what I feel. Yeah, keep going. That's what it is. Some nut. Hold on. Go ahead. Who designed this and who gonna put that nut back on there? It's a cold piece of work right there, whoever did that one. So that plate we removed, and we're gonna just go with locking this in place right here with the screws that it comes with. And what? Give me a sheet of your Velcro. And that's what we can do. Give me a Velcro. I'm gonna Velcro this to the pole and then tighten. So I'm gonna add added protection. That's why I'm good at a lot of stuff like this. I think on the fly. I don't see a problem. I always see the solution. I used to do that on the job.
My Velcro is out there. You got a piece on the camera right there? You wonder?
No,
Oh,
not
you're
that.
talking about
I'm talking about real, yeah, real.
Real Velcro.
Yeah, we're gonna put real Velcro on it, guys, and that way we got added protection. I'm gonna get him to get his Velcro here, and what we'll do is I'm gonna make a wrap. I'm gonna put the waterproof Velcro on the pole because I think it'll fold easier. Velcro it. I'm gonna take a little bit of alcohol, which is aluminum. It should be okay. I think we're okay. Plus I'm gonna have it locked in place. But I'll go ahead and pull a little alcohol anyway. Make sure there's no oil. We're doing modifications because the pole that I have on my kayak, that pole is not available. Livescope is so popular that you'd be hard pressed to find stuff. I don't know if you can get this unit, but Jerry, he listened, he came up with an idea, he thought about it after I told him what I did. This unit that he has, $1,380, he's ready, Livescope ready, all the way ready, with everything that he needs to get out and go fishing. So I Velcroed that there. You see that, guys? That Velcro's in place. So I'll turn right back around and I'll Velcro here on the inside. This is a little rigid, might not have the same exact fit, but it should work. Now, well, I'll have to cut it to fit because it can't be in the way of the boat holes. So I'm gonna have to only have a piece that'll belly up about right there. Here. Seal it before I might get it back over. Oh, they're right here, Jerry. Okay. So I'm gonna come straight across with this Velcro here. And these are on the fly modification, guys, that I'm just putting because that pole was not available. Keep those small stainless screws when we're done. This is what you call getting hooked up hard hitter style, is what we're doing. So, was it like that or was it like this? And I think it was like this. Yeah. And it is sticking good. So I'll fold it over and lay it in and put it in place. Then, along with it being Velcroed in place, I'm gonna see if I got enough room to put another piece, which I don't need another piece. That's gonna lock it tight as long as those bolts will fit. If it's not, I'll end up shaving some off the backside. And we're gonna find out now if we got reach. If we do, plenty of reach. We got action, man.
That's good action.
Yeah. I just think on the fly, G, I just do. Especially when I'm trying to get in there and get on and sit down and eat.
And Velcro was a good move.
Oh yeah. But then you're gonna have to stay square. Pull one side more than the other. Those bolts all should. I mean, that Allen should fit these two. So one size fits all. So that was our solution to the problem of not having the right live fish hole available. He'll be out fish that's plenty deep in the water, that where he's got it set at. And this is forward. So when you're straight to the side, you're forward. When you like that, you're shooting straight across. That's forward. That's out that way. So that's your beam, just like that. Give me that green lock. The green Loctite. I'll put it. What I'm gonna do here, guys, is that's medium Loctite. So all I'm gonna do is get this little bit of silicone that I had on my deal here, so I don't have to take those screws back out. This stuff is, it goes everywhere. If you get a little bit on there, it's gonna go all the way to the threads, all inside the threads. And I'm just gonna saturate it with a little bit of Loctite on the threads. And as I go further in there, that's gonna bleed into place. And we got a little medium Loctite for insurance. The last thing we wanna have happen is the transducer come loose where you gotta stop fishing and try to figure out a way. But with the Velcro there, and with everything that we have in place, I think we're good. And this is we'll use that other kind of Velcro that you're talking about, just to put that cable there. That's it. That's how it'll hang, and it'll be, you know, I'll pull some back inside the kayak, but that'll be that. And that way it'll turn freely. I'll leave a little slack here, so that way it don't get in front of that nut when you turn it, or mess with you when you're trying to tighten and loosen that nut. So. that's not going nowhere.
So you're saying
This is the front of the
this is
the front. Yeah.
so
No. I like it how you got it because that shows forward. When that arrow's pointing that way, that's where you're pointing. When it's pointing that way, that's where you're pointing. That's perfect. You see what I'm saying? This is the front of the transducer. This.
all right.
If you put it over there, I don't like it. I like it like this because if you point here, you can look and see, okay, I'm pointing that way. You ain't got to worry about the transducer. You look at this. That's where it's shooting, right over there.
Okay. So it's not shooting out
No,
this way.
no, this way. This. That's why it says,
That's why it clicks back and
yeah,
forth like
so
that.
you could shoot down, but this is a perfect, I have the camera. So, I'll let y'all get a close-up of the application. That's Velcro to the pole, Velcro to the clamp to the unit. Now he's able to down view, even farther down view if you want it. But I always run mine just like this because I get down view like that. And perspective mode is you click it up one and shoot out. But this is more down view, and that's even more down view when you click it more. So I run mine like that all day in deep water, shallow water. I don't use the perspective mode because if I'm fishing that shallow, you can put one here, one of those little things you got that's around, and then one up high if you want, but you don't want it in the way your hand stop it about right there. Give yourself a little slack the way, and down here a little bit to where it winks. When you turn, it doesn't catch you now. Yeah, you got to have your hand.
All the way.
No, you never gonna. Yeah, you can.
Oh, that's the other side of the boat.
Yeah, that's the other side of the boat.
Okay.
And I never fished that side of the boat. I'll fish like that towards the front. One of these things a while back, and they're just a lifesaver. You just pop them off. Simple wrap.
Reusable.
And they're reusable. You got a hole that you can feed it through to where you're sure you're secure. You can slide it up some to where it's going to clear. Go up a little bit more, up some more. All right there. And then he's got enough cable to where when he turns, it doesn't catch here and hang up when he's fishing. See, it clears that every time. And when he goes, he's never shooting behind you anyway. You sometimes do, but when you're looking for a brush pile, to where you're shooting all the way behind you.
Tilt.
There it is. You just have to loosen it to tilt it.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's a little cheap one, but sufficient. Not too tight on there.
No, you tighten it once you locked in where you're going.
Yeah. But, you won't get to swivel if you lock it down. It'll lock down and you can't twist.
No, I'm talking about once you, like if you want to keep it pointed straight, you go ahead and snug it. But when you get where you're fishing and you need to move it, you loosen it. So he could lock it in place, like if he's locked on his target, he could snug it a little bit here, and it locks the pole from turning. So when he's traveling, he can lock it in place. But we're there, y'all, except for plugging this to the monitor and giving juice to it. And the access cable in the hull. I always lay mine flat, just like that. Let me go ahead and get my light out of here. And we're done. Stainless ring terminals that came with this little plastic here. And taking that plastic off, because all you do is I take my cutters and I split it one time, grab it the next, pull that off of there, and then come here, instead of that cheap plastic that's not sealed, slide my heat shrink over. I'll tell you where to get this, guys. I get this at Harbor Freight. This is item number 66764. Fits perfectly over the gauge wires that I'm using. 2.1 heat shrink ratio. 2:1 or whatever. So that means it probably shrinks twice its size. I come in and I start up here to get that seal there first. Once I get that seal there, I just work my way down. As you see, as I'm going down, it's grabbing to the wire. As I work my way down, it closes up on the wire. So I got a complete seal. I have to worry about corrosion, anything that's stainless here on the end. Alright? So that was done. So you see that one is already done there. So that's the power cords heat shrinked on the end to where you got a real rust-proof, corrosion-proof, waterproof heat shrink seal on the power cable to the Livescope box, the black box.
Step right here to
Okay. And I'll do the same thing to the power to the head unit. I'll pull these two out here. Alright. No, you good. You good. It's good. That ain't nothing. I don't know what happened there. It normally don't never do that. I did it 100 times. Just wanted to do it now. So I'll do the same thing here. And we'll have power that's heat shrinked just the way we want it. So I'll this one's already done. To make sure I got a good connection, I'll go ahead and pull a little bit more power cable off, or that red seal there. Take a little bend to double it. Slide it into place. Pliers here, right at the front. Crimp it, and it's done. Without me putting the heat shrink on first. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get it over because I got fired up there. Sleep deprivation. See if I can get that heat shrink over there, which I know I can't, so I'll end up cutting that one and putting another one on there. I love the way the heat shrink just feeds out just what you need. Cut them both the same length where everything's uniform, looks neat. I'll go to do the right thing here. I always slip them over. Slip that over. Take a little bit more extra off. Take a little bit of a fold to where it's plenty in there. See if we can pull it off without slitting it.
temperature then dropped a little bit more out there.
Quick. You want to save them, use them for something else? You can. I ain't.
What's that?
They ain't good for nothing. I'm talking to the people in TV land over here, Jerry. That's the trash. Here's the application of it done the right way, which I got fired up on that other one. I'll see if I can get the heat shrink up over it. But that's basically that. Lock it in place. Pull the heat shrink up over it. All the way up over it. As far as I want. Fire it up. Start up here at the top. Make it to the ring terminal. Let it work its way down. So that heat shrink seals to the ring terminal first. Then as I work my way down, it seals to the wire. I have a watertight, airtight, corrosion-proof, rust-proof seal on the heat shrink. Now I have to see if I'm good enough to get this one over it, which I don't think I'm just going to try to fight that because there's no way. Law of averages says no, that's not going to work. So what I'll have to do is see if I can undo what I did. By coming sideways, squeezing, if it'll allow me to. And that's not going to happen. So I'll just trash that one, cut it off. Look in the top, Jerry, give me one of those yellow ring terminals. So now, sorry for the slight delay. Station identification, whatever you want to call it. Found out I don't have to split them, just pull them off. I'll have to come here, skin the wire again. You want to use stainless wire, not copper. You will have problems if you use copper. This is saltwater version of wire. It's saltwater compatible. Do not try to put your unit together and use cheap copper. Jerry's got a roll of it. You get it on Amazon. I'll put the link in there if you guys ask me. Maybe when I get ready to drop the video, I'll see if I can put the link in there. The heat shrink is not on again. I almost messed up. Why y'all not watching and telling me, man? The sleep deprivation getting to me now. Or hungry. Or both. But either way, now slip the heat shrink over first. Hang on to the ring terminal. Ring terminal in place. Y'all mark my words, man. I told everybody the Super Bowl is going to be the 49ers and the Ravens. Bet something.
And the Raiders.
Ravens. Yeah, yeah. And Lamar going to win it this year. So get ready. Start at the top, up here at the ring terminal again. Y'all see how to grab the ring terminal. The ring terminal will heat up good first. And you just let that heat shrink do its job and work its way up the wire. Sealing good. See it conforming to the wire. And you're done. So you got heat shrink on your terminal ends, head unit, black box. Everything is in place. We're basically just going to drop the battery in just to do a test run. And we're all good. We heat shrink here with these that you can get on Amazon as well. It's got the solder in the middle. They're done. Everything's in place. I'm gonna grab my battery and be right back, guys. Battery just dropped in here right quick, guys, with it powered up. And I'm gonna spin the unit a little bit. And there we go. Just like that. The battery's getting low, so it may cut off on us, guys, but that is the Livescope installation done, ready to go fishing. Okay? Crappie beware, Jerry's coming. Got a brand new gun. He ain't taking no prisoners, but all hostages over 10.5 inches are welcome. Agree? Okay. Orientation forward. Okay. Let's do this. Software ready for installation on your system. Review. I might as well install. Update. Take longer than this must be blah blah blah. Continue. So he's already got an update on there. We'll go ahead and update it while we're here. My battery might not last long enough. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. Huh? Update complete. Press OK to restore. Okay, 100%. So the battery's gonna die, so I'll just come back and put another camera in here and let y'all finish it. But he's ready. Update's done. Unit's doing his thing. He already did some of this at the house as far as powering his head unit up, and his active captain is already done. He has a memory card in there. He's knowledgeable enough to know how to do a lot of it, but just all of the tools and the shop and place to do it, just come here, and it just made it that much easier. See, I thought on the fly on that transducer. I've always run into problems. We did that as kids coming up. I want to go here, showing Panoptics. What you want to go is to menu and put transmit off. And that way, when you go back, Livescope's not on and this unit's not running out of the water. And another way to power all of them off is go home and say we just go to sonar and we just go to that, because I love that screen. What you do here is hit the power button twice. Disable all sonar. See that? Boom. Now all your transducers are off and you're not going to burn them off. Burn them up. When you get ready to put them back on, enable all sonar. Boom. All your sonars back up. Your transducers are on. While they're on, it's okay for them to be on. My thing is, I go home, go to Panoptics, it's running. So I go to menu, see it's transmitting. I turn the Livescope transducer off. Then I go back home, go to sonar, go to traditional. We're not in any kind of water. I just go ahead, power the whole head unit off, turn it off. That turns off all the transducers. And for extra insurance, what I do when I come off the water, I unhook my positive cable. That's it. I just unhook the positive cable off the battery and I ride home with the positive cable unhooked, put the screw back in there, and to me that's the safest way to know that you're not burning anything up, because now there's no juice. If you just want to unhook both of them, that's fine. But Jerry went with a 50 amp hour lithium instead of this 100 because it was so big and bulky. But he's ready to go. He's ready to go fishing. Just that quick.
Ready to learn again how to fish.
No, you ain't gonna have to do nothing because I'm gonna give you some numbers. We're gonna put in the unit, and that's it. We'll put the numbers in the unit. We'll do it tonight, but what is it? Working at it, working on 11. But the Hobie Pro Angler 14 Torpedo 408 version is ready for the water. And Livescope ready. Man, shoot, run forever. 2 batteries, they float. Oh, I gotta get up there and put the phone back in and we're done, y'all. Thanks for watching, man. Thanks for the likes, subscriptions, comments. You need your stuff done right, man. Hit the hard hitter up. Turn this light off. You want knowledge, you want quality, you want good customer service inside the garage while it's cold. I go get the little buddy heater and turn it on for you if you're freezing. We use all stainless hardware on every piece of your installation. Not playing, man. All stainless washers, heat shrink, everything is done the right way, man. So nobody ever has to come back and worry and wonder about any of the. I have everything to do the job, and I enjoy doing it, man. Except when it's time to go fishing. Don't call me when it's time to go fishing, because then I ain't doing it. Later, man. All right, we get one little shot here. The unit completely installed on the kayak, seat on. Livescope is ready. Camera pole riding right back there. Like I told him, it'll ride right up down to the seat. Same exact thing except for the camera pole, or Livescope transducer pole. So hooked up fishing, man. I got the big decals, guys. I got the big decals. Okay, hooked up fishing decals for boats or kayaks. I got the big decals. So we locked and loaded and ready to roll. Jerry found this heat shrink and he told me about it. So if you have any questions on that, that way you can grip that without being on that cold stainless. You got heat shrink, you slip it up over there, heat shrink it on. It looks real neat. I like it.